Hello, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. Um, I wanted to bring up a few topics today. I've did a little bit of a reading on these topics, and I wanted to share with you guys what I've been receiving from Spirit. Um, a few weeks ago, I tapped into Kamala Harris's energy, and I was very shocked to the information I received from Spirit. I before doing the reading, I was not really liking her, and I'm not voting for her. But after doing that reading, I feel more compassionate, and I got to see a different aspect of her and how we all have been in one way or another being victims of the abuse and just the inhumane aspects of the 3D matrix, and how things have played out for all of us. And so before I go into that, I want to say that I this channel is not meant for to spread gossip or rumors, to influence anyone in any way into doing anything they don't want to do. It's just I'm sharing my experience and my perspective of life, um, through my own awakening, and hopefully maybe bring awareness and to others about the way I see life, and not just me, but many other people. And so, yeah, so I'm just sharing, and hopefully, these information will resonate with some of you. Um, and I'm bringing this Kamala today because I watched one of Candace Owens's videos today where she had a guest who knew Kamala Harris's mom, and he went to Berkeley, and I guess her mom was in this circle of friends where she was a doctor, and she, they all like have this San Francisco little circle, and he knew her, and he shared how she was involved in with the CIA and the MK Ultra programs. And so you guys need to watch that because it's mind blowing. Like, my jaw dropped. I mean, like, wow. But it really ties up with the information I received from Spirit when I did this reading 4 weeks ago. So that's why I am bringing this up, because it's almost a confirmation to what we see on even on TV, that we all have already recognized as her unusual behaviors and the way she expresses herself, or lack of expression of herself. So anyways, but so before going into this reading, again, I was not a fan of hers, and I am not voting for her, but I feel bad for her after that. So basically, I what I received was that she was or she is a very traumatized person, that she has been through many bad relationships, you know, many times, either romantic or even with family, or that I felt like I got the sense that she's almost like an empty vessel, where she has been through so much trauma that she almost has lost her identity. I received the word that came was broken, that she's a broken person, and that she's actually not the villain. Like, she it's not a person who has control of her mind. Like, it's almost like she can be easily manipulated, and the focus should be, for some reason, it was about focusing on her husband. And I don't know much about her husband, but it was like he's almost like in behind the scenes, the one who kind of like manipulates some of her decisions, and kind of like kind of has a lot of influence on her as to what moves she should be making as far as her career and all that. But not only, like, I sense that she can be easily manipulated, and it's almost like she's a victim. Like, she's not the mega mind behind this, which at the time also, kind of like confirmed that, as she was probably not the best person as for president at this time in the United States, because of the way the country is. You need somebody that's really strong, and someone who is not going to be easily pushed around or manipulated by people, or you know industries that have their own agendas. So yeah, so I got that she's not a villain, and that she was actually a broken person. And I feel, I got this almost like, oh, I feel bad for her kind of like energy. And I am bringing this up as far as for in regards to Kamala, because I watched that video today with Candace Owen, and she's talking about these MK Ultra, and how some of these politicians are pretty much used as puppets, basically. Like, they are the ones that put their face out there for the people to see, but they're not the ones running the show. And they were saying how, like, the way she talks, and the way she laughs, and how, like, sometimes, which doesn't know who she really is. And these guests in Candace Owens's show said that the mom was very military, like, very, I mean, she was a socialist, I believe he said. And she was running a program in a hospital where they did a lot of mind control. So she kind of he experienced the mom treating her children in a certain way that was very military, kind of. So a lot of these people get placed in these jobs because they are there just for face only, but they are really being manipulated, and they go through a lot of trauma. I mean, some of these people don't even know. And interestingly, today, I was trying to focus on her energy again, and again, Spirit said, to me, and I was like, focus on Team Waltz. So focus on Team Waltz. So, I feel like Kamala, it's not even running the show. Like, so the way, she's not the villain. She's not the one we need to focus on. If we, we need to focus on Team Waltz, and there's something that has to do with him that, I get the sense that his energy is very like I feel like he gets anxious a lot. Like, he gets very like he's hiding something, and he's almost like, in this energy where, like, am I gonna get caught? Like, he's trying to, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna see if I can go back and see if I can get more information on him. But I did get the sense that he has done some pretty nasty things, maybe with small people. But I can't. I'm gonna have to go back and see what else. But hopefully, I don't get in trouble for saying these things here. Um, so yeah, she is not a villain, and you know, she's just been a victim of a lot of like bad shit that's happening in this world. But definitely not the one to be president, because basically she's not even running. She's not gonna be running the country. Somebody else will, and the focus kind of like it's not her. So we need to bring the focus on somebody else. But actually, you know what? Let's just change this, because we need to remember that no matter who is sitting in that chair in the White House or anywhere in the world, no one's gonna save us. We save ourselves. And whatever tactics they have been using to control humanity, brainwashing, trauma, war, whatever, we save ourselves. We have way more power than we think, okay, because of free will. They cannot manipulate anyone if you don't participate. So they have nothing if we don't participate. If we're not willing participants, they have nothing. So it's important to remember that, because I love Donald Trump, but he is not going to save you unless you save yourself. And that's just the bottom line of how things are. And that's what Jesus tried to tell us. Like, God is within you. You have more power than you think. All his teachings were about empowering yourself, and believe that you are part of God's creation, and we all are. So, yeah, I wanted to bring the other point that I've been, that I was like, this has to do with the hurricane in South Carolina. So I heard some rumors that there was the hurricanes were, like created because there's interest in the resources of the area, the crystals. I guess there's crystals and resources there that can be used. And what I remote view was under the area in South Carolina, in North Carolina, in South Carolina, and even in Florida. And what I received was that what I saw was there's a lot of like precious metals, precious metals or crystals, but they're like in raw form. So they're still like in rocks. There's still like, there's like caves in there, like underground. There's like caves and formations of geos, and very raw. So they still have to be hard, they would have to be mined to be able to be used, because they're like in raw form. But also that these crystals raise the energy and vibration of the planet, and by us using these resources, taking them away from Mother Earth, we are messing up her vibration. And these are energetic crystals that elevate her vibration. And if you are in the plan of trying to lower the vibration of the planet, I mean, there's many ways of doing and targeting that, but taking those high energetic organic crystals out of nature, it's one of those ways. And I can kind of like see how that mentality can go towards that. So it was like, I guess that's a topic that's yet to be seen, to see what happens there. But yeah, there's definitely raw materials there that could be used for either weapon development, I know that there's like lithium, and a lot of crystals can be used for battery resources. And so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, there's a lot of like raw material there, and we'll see what happens. Um, I also have been seeing a lot of news on a lot of people being rescued from human trafficking, a lot of children, and when I started um, awakening my clairvoyance, my clairs, the kids were one of the things that I kind of like saw that put me in a bad mental state. At the time, I didn't know that these things were actually happening. I thought I was going crazy, and it was a topic that I did not want to talk about because I felt like, I'm not sure what this is happening, but spirit surely, slowly but surely, has been bringing me to understand that this is actually being happening. And at the time, I saw tunnels, and I saw children, but I also saw women, but not just women. There were pregnant women there, and my mind I couldn't understand why I was seeing these things. That I've seen. I'm gonna just spell it out: RITUALS. Also, and I just want to say it because, there is this astral world that we do not experience through our physical eyes, but me having access to these other vibrations, I've seen some astral entities, creatures that, when the Bible talks about demons and spirits and all that, I mean, you better believe it that it's actually there. I know, like when I started my awakening, I started seeing angels, but what I realized out of everything that I was experiencing, it's that, yeah, it's about good and evil, and it's this war going on because it's a very hostile place in the astral where there's like shit happening there, like no kidding. So it's important to be aware that these things, are actually there, and they do, some of these people that, you know, do these horrible things. They allow themselves to be vessels for these dark entities, these lower energy entities, and allow that. These entities want to actually manifest into this reality. That's why when I've seen certain things, I don't draw them because I don't want to give them access into this reality. Because that's what's happened with like a lot of these movies. I've seen the guy from like the movie Scream, that ghost face. He actually, it's out there in the astral planes, okay? And I was like, oh crap, he's actually there. Like these people that are power seekers or whatever have been kind of like doing offerings to these beings for power, okay? And so they do a lot of these offerings, and they manifest these people into this reality. Now the Grim Reaper, I've seen that guy too out there. So just be aware that maybe some of the things that we see out there, maybe it's not just a movie, right? It's probably something that an entity, an energy put out in somebody's brain, a producer or filmmaker, writer, whatever, and they want to be manifested here. Because if you don't see them, like if you don't see them with your eyes, they don't exist, right? But once you start seeing them subconsciously, they start become real, and you start to be scared of them, and you start having fear of them, which is what feeds them. So we need to be very careful with that, and we need to be aware that, not be in fear mode, but be aware, and always remember that the light is way more powerful than the darkness, and we are way more powerful than them. Okay, they actually are afraid of our light. Okay, they actually are afraid of our light, and they know that they have no chance. So once you put your boundaries, and once you are aware of your light and you are in power, they run away from you. They're like, I'm not messing with you. Because I'm telling you, I've been down there remote viewing some of these places, and because I see what's there, but I see almost like, it's almost like I'm seeing different dimensions kind of playing out, like, you know so they move out of the way, because if you come in with belief in yourself and strength, they'll be afraid of you, they'll run away. Okay, they'll be like, oops, I'm leaving. um so yeah, and it's so crazy to like even think that all these things happen and we don't even know it. It's just crazy. um but the point is to always be in your power. Always remember that you are gonna save yourself, right? And stay connected to God, to source. I think that's like the main focus that we should have on our daily basis. Like, do we meditate every day? Do we do a 1 minute prayer every day? Do we close our eyes and say thank you, God, for everything? Extraterrestrials are there, and I'm gonna tell you right now, they are real, and they are up in space, and they're in the water, down in the oceans. I actually have remote view that some of the spacecraft inside in the ocean, and it's kind of like they get like the coolest view. I mean, they're like working there, like they're doing whatever they're doing, and they have this huge screen, like it's a window, right? And you see, it's almost like an aquarium, like they get to see all these beautiful life forms, like it's an aquarium, like there's like big, like maybe like sharks and big fish, and I mean it's beautiful. Like, wow, they got the best, coolest aquarium down there. Yeah, they are real, and they're not bad. Okay, like there are bad ones, nefarious ones, and there are some that have been working with the humans in regards to taking people, if taking people, and it's a very organized system there that they have. It's not new, and it looks like they have very they have a way of doing this, like, even all the way to these other ice places like Antarctica. um Anyways, but this is my experience, and I am just sharing. I'm probably not doing the best job at sharing this. I'm not very prepared, but I'm just sharing because I am part of this world. I'm part of this humanity, and I want to help too. And I don't want to go out of this world with not having done something. Somebody's gonna see this video, somebody's gonna hear it, and I hope somebody shares it, because we need to bring this awareness to everybody. And we are all different vibrations, and some people resonate more with some than others. So whatever vibration you're in, and whatever connects with my vibration, whatever, I mean, as long as we are all working together to bring this awareness, I mean, this has to change. I mean, there's been a lot of poisons to the foods, to the children's candies. I mean, the medical system, I saw a cop at the border. He was pretty much crying, saying that, it's his job to catch and release, and he's releasing children. And he knows that these children are not gonna go to a good place. And he's like, why do I have to do, I mean, why am I forced to do this? I don't wanna do this. And same goes with like people like me who are in the medical field. We don't wanna be misinformed. We don't wanna be performing things, procedures, or giving wrong information. We wanna be told, we wanna do what's best for the public, because that's why we go there. That's why we work there. That's why we do police work. That's why we patrol. That's why we are medical providers, because we want to help. But when you are receiving the wrong information from the people that are supposed to be, you're supposed to be trusting, it's just like you are unwillingly doing the wrong thing, unknowingly. So it's important to be aware, and I hope that everybody is waking up to the matrix. And I am very hopeful. I think we're doing a good job so far. I think there's a lot of people that are putting their faces out there, putting themselves in harm's way to help humanity. And I pray for them every day. I pray for their safety. I pray for Donald Trump's safety, his family's safety. All those, all the people out there, the spiritual healers, people telling the truth, people coming forward, sharing their experiences and sharing what's been going on to them. I mean, that I feel like I'm praying for them, for their safety and for their courage. I'm putting myself out there because I also want to help, and I could be called crazy because I'm talking about things that I see with my mind's eye, but I have to share it. And I want to make this world better for the children, for my children, for their children. So I think we can do this, and we just have to remember that there are tricksters out there, and they will try anything to get you into a fear mode. But we have the power, and we're not playing that game anymore. The game is up. The game is done. So yeah, let's stay strong. And I wanted to share something else. Oh yeah, so Didi, when I started having these visions, there was a lot of sex going on, sickening. And if you think about it, I mean, there are energy parasites, okay? And it seems to me is that this person, Didi, was not himself. Basically, I feel like there's a darker entity that has taken over, took over a long time ago, and this narcissistic, parasitic energy took over, and it's almost like it was like his mission in life to reinfestate other people. Like he had to go in there and parasitize others, and it was, I mean, it has to be like it has to be a dark entity there, because he was causing trauma. He was infested. Every time that you have an energetic exchange through sex, there's energy exchange, okay? And your productive organs are being balanced by your sacral chakra, which is your creative center. So this person was pretty much destroying our God-given creative energy, you know. And creation is not just creating art or music, it was also creating life. We are also right there, we harvest, especially women, they harvest their energetic wound, you know, for creation of another child. Just a second. Sorry, somebody's at the door. My husband's getting that. But anyways, so yeah. So, you know, this is what's been happening with our sacral chakra, you know, women destroying that area through having multiple procedures, you know, to block their reproductive side, right? You know what I mean? Men not being able to use their, you know, their sacral chakra reproductive system for recreation of a life, right? Because now they're going the other way. So, I mean, it's all a system, you know, it's all a system. And we need to wake up to that, you know, we need to realize that everything is a plan. While you and me are busy working, they're working to make things like that for everybody else while they get all the money, right? So it's important to understand who we are as spiritual beings with a soul who lives in a body, right? And then we go through different lives with different bodies, you know, different experiences. So yeah, this person, it's what I would call a total, I mean, that's a proof, a real life proof, 3D matrix proof of a DEMON. Okay, yeah, that's what I think that person is. By the way, I also asked, and what I received is that he might be a CLONE, the one sitting in JAIL, but we'll see what happens. But the most important thing is to know that you have your own power, that God is inside of us, that we are loved, and that we have the ability to give love as well. And that if we don't worry, if we just if we are the best that we can be, that's what the world is gonna reflect outside, because the universe is a mirror. So what we project, that's what we get. So stay strong, and yeah, you know, we have all been victims of, in one way or another, but that does not determine who we are. Okay, we don't have to have that mentality. We can create our own reality, and share what you know and help others. Okay, well, I hope this video was kind of long. I wasn't expected to be talking this much, and I hope it makes sense, but I wasn't prepared, but I wanted to share. Love you all and wish you the best. Bye-bye.